There's nothing really mystical at all about the outcome of games. We determine how games unfold, taking nothing away from the Bucs, man. We've had a couple of good days work with those guys, respect Coach Bowles and their program. But it was self-inflicted wounds for us tonight that determined the outcome of the game, I thought. You turn the ball over, you're going to reduce your chances of winning. I thought we stalled a lot of drives offensively with penalties that put us behind the sticks and put us in less than advantageous possession downs. I think we were 0 for 5, say at the half, as an example of that. We got a penalty roughing the kicker where they were settling for 3, and we put them back on the field, and they eventually got a touchdown. And you lose games when things like that happen. We lost leverage in the red zone, and some passes there early on allowed them to score 7, and we got to make people settle for 3. On the short field. We spend too much time working in the short field. We understand how important leverage is in that space, but we didn't execute it. And so there'll be a lot to learn, obviously, from this game because of that. There certainly were some positive things. I thought several players took a step forward, two young guys in particular. I thought Harmon and Caleb Johnson really took a step forward off of their first performance. But, again, that's a reasonable thing to expect. Second time stepping into a stadium, you see more of their talents. I think we talked about that a couple of days ago in anticipation of the game. From a health standpoint, Christian Kuntz had a chest injury that's being evaluated. Gareth Warren is being evaluated for concussion. And then we got some other bumps and bruises associated with play, many of which worked their way back into the game. And so we're working on a short week. We'll get ready to carry it to Carolina to finish off our in-stadium preseason work, and so we'll work with extreme urgency. But for us, a major component of that is analyzing the self-inflicted wounds that were really kind of characteristic tonight and hadn't been us throughout this process, but it definitively was us tonight. Pause and open it up for questions.
Mike, you like what you saw from Roman Wilson, and can he become, or is he becoming, a viable threat in your pass game?
He's had a good camp, and he's backed that up with some quality in-stadium play, and so feel good about the overall trajectory of him. But, we got another game in a couple more weeks, and, that time is critical for a young guy. And so he's got to keep his foot on the gas and keep working.
Mike, with Caleb, anything specific that you really liked about his game, especially that third quarter?
I just thought we saw more of his talents this time around, and that's a reasonable expectation. He's been in the stadium. The mystique of it is over, and so as people get settled in and more comfortable with their roles in this NFL environment, I think you're just going to see more of their talents, and it just felt like we saw more of his talent tonight.
Did you see a little bit of what you wanted to see from Caleb Johnson?
Yes.
What do you think about the progress so far of the offensive line?
I like the overall trajectory of it, but again, as I mentioned, the same discussion with Roman, that's a young collective. A bunch of second-year, third-year types, and so like each and every day from a developmental standpoint is critical. And so we got another in-stadium opportunity. We got several more weeks of work, and I expect them to continue to utilize it and continue to evolve individually and collectively.
Is Logan Lee just the guy to get you out of the stadium as a long snapper, and would you have to sign somebody if Christian can't come back?
I'm not ready to talk hypotheticals regarding Christian. I think we got some good news there, but I certainly was pleased with the work that Logan gave us tonight. He's worked at since he's been here. Versatility helps him and helps us.
Mike Hurley was okay?
Yes.
Mike, Skylar didn't get a lot of reps early in camp. Has anything he's done surprised you? What has impressed you about him?
It really has not. This guy's played some NFL football, man. He's had some starts and so forth in Miami, and so I'm not surprised that it's not too big for him. I'm not surprised that his talent is showing. He's a diligent worker. One man's misfortune is oftentimes another man's opportunity. We live by that, and certainly Will's misfortune is his opportunity, and he's taking a nice advantage of it.
What did you think about Cole Hulcom's play?
I thought on the surface it was solid, but I don't have anything other than that. From a reactionary standpoint, I certainly will next time we come together.
One more. Mike, you got the first team offensive line out of there, I think, after the first quarter. Would you expect them in the last game maybe to go a little longer than that?
We'll see. I'll talk to you guys before we play, usually 48 hours before we play. I'll give you some indication of what our plans are, and we'll kind of go from there. Thanks, guys.